Okay, so we're going to be talking about property rights, intellectual property rights, and corruption. So, first of all, what are property rights? Property rights refers to the legal rights over the use to which a resource is put and over the use made of any income that may be derived from that source. Resources include land, buildings, equipment, capital, mineral rights, businesses, and intellectual property. So, I put in this example from Starbucks winning a trademark dispute. It's an article that I got from the New York Times, and you can see the link there. It's basically about in 2006 in Beijing, China, Starbucks won a dispute against a Chinese firm doing business as Jing Bank, which translates into English from Mandarin to mean Starbucks, essentially. So it's things like this that it's important that companies be out on the lookout for. Thankfully, though, in 2007, China enacted a law to protect the rights of private property holders. The law gives individuals the same legal protection for their property as the state has. So China is definitely going in the right direction with this law, although there is still, China is a communist country and there are still tons of piracy going on in China. So it's something to think about as a business if you were to set up in China. So let's go on to the next picture here. I wanted to show you guys a picture of Starbucks Coffee's trademark. That's in the middle there, as we all know. And around it, other companies that have tried to copy, essentially to sell coffee and the same sort of image there that they use. So this is definitely something that's important for companies to keep up with lawsuits to protect their name. So, violated property rights. This can happen in two ways, through private action or through public action. Private action refers to theft, piracy, blackmail, and the like by private individuals or groups. Public action occurs when public officials, such as politicians and government bureaucrats, extort income, resources, or the property itself from property holders. So, a weak legal system allows a much higher level of criminal action. And this can be done through legal mechanisms such as levying excessive taxation, requiring expensive licenses or permits from property holders, taking assets into state ownerships without compensating the owners, and so on and so forth. Um, Corruption. This happens through violating property rights, as we just talked about what those were, through illegal means or by demanding bribes from businesses in return for the rights to operate in a country, industry, or location. So no society is immune to corruption. So in 1970, the United States passed the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, following the revelations that U.S. companies had bribed government officials in foreign countries in an attempt to win lucrative contracts. So the law makes it illegal to bribe a foreign government official to obtain or maintain business over which that foreign official has authority, and it requires all publicly traded companies to keep detailed records that would reveal whether or not a violation of the act has occurred. So let's go on to the next slide here. It's about intellectual property. So, intellectual property refers to the property that is the product of intellectual activity, such as computer software, a screenplay, a music record, or the chemical formula for a new drug. So, there are different ways to protect your property rights. Some of them are through patents, trademarks, and copyrights, and I have put the definitions for you to see there. So, firms can protect their property rights in several ways. They can lobby governments and file lawsuits of their own on behalf to protect their property. Firms may also choose to stay out of countries where intellectual property rights are lax. Firms also need to be on alert to ensure that pirated copies of their products produced in countries with weak intellectual property laws don't turn up in their home market or in third countries. And that's basically a wrap for our discussion today. Thanks for listening to the video.